to talk to you. Just want to give you a chance to explain. Do you intend to return any of your customers' money?
Here we go. We first told you about Maryland Memorials, a Glen Burnie company who families say took their money while they were grieving and never delivered headstones to mark their loved ones' graves. And these are the types of stories that we are trying to do for you right here on In Focus every single night. Stories that you tell us about, stories that make a difference. And tonight, we're happy to report about a happy ending.
Jamie, Lillian Dye was a beloved wife, mother, and grandmother, and she passed away a year and a half ago. And that's about how long her family had been waiting to place a proper headstone at her grave. And now another memorial company has stepped in to create the headstone they ordered but never received after seeing the story here on In Focus.
Coming here is still hard for all of us.
It's a little bit easier for Victoria Katona to visit her mother's grave these days. Pancreatic cancer stole Lillian Dye from her daughter, grandchildren, and her husband on July 4th, 2013.
My mom married my dad when she was 16. My dad was 23. So they literally have spent basically their entire lives together.
After a year and a half of grieving, there's now a beautiful headstone to mark her final resting place.
To have the permanent one in place is definitely comforting. We feel like we've finally done right by her. There's something in place to memorialize her and mark where she is.
Katona's family is one of more than a dozen families who ordered grave markers from Maryland Memorials in 2013 and never received them. After Katona's father paid $3,400 for his wife's headstone, his check cleared and the family was never able to get a hold of owner James Kinsey again. In December, Katona and others found the office closed, their money gone.
One woman was $8,000.
Linda Silkworth and her husband Robert own Standiford Memorials in Glen Burnie. They stepped in to help the Katonas, and 5 other families left heartbroken after Maryland Memorials never delivered their orders.
We had a family that was in Florida, and she was going to take him to court, but decided not to come back. And but we took care of her, got her made whole.
Standiford donated or provided the materials at cost to the families. Katona and her father couldn't be happier with the finished product.
He thinks it's beautiful, and it is. It's so nice, and it's still shiny and pretty.
Silkworth says it's the company's motto to be there for families in their time of need.
They're going through a grieving process as it is, so it's nice to know that they're happy with the end result. And, it makes it nice.
The Silkworths are encouraging any other Maryland Memorials victims to contact them at Standiford Memorials, and they will work with you to get a headstone made for your loved one.
Well, how about Standiford coming through, huh? And making people unbelievable. Now, let's go back to the Maryland company, though. Are they going to face any, what's in it now for them? Are they facing punishment or what?
Well, Jamie, the Office of Cemetery Oversight actually launched an investigation into James Kinsey and Maryland Memorials last year. Now, a spokeswoman tells me that that case was wrapped up, but it was then turned over to the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division. But as policy, the Attorney General's office does not confirm nor deny investigations, so we have to continue to wait and see what happens in this case.
All right, let's go. Thank you, Trang. You know, Standiford Memorials also has some tips for families who are making final arrangements for their loved ones. And Linda, who you saw in Trang's piece there, says that you shouldn't feel rushed through the process. And she says it's actually better to wait a little bit before ordering a headstone so that you're not as emotional.
Families have the right to shop around, so to speak. The cemeteries have their pricing, but they have the right to go to an outside memorialist and to decide where they want to have it made.
And she also says that most of all reputable memorial companies will allow you to put down a deposit. You shouldn't have to pay for your memorial in full before all the work is finished.